3 of our graduates this year come and to offer their reflections. And it seems like the song that Amy and Kelsey just sang is especially appropriate because they're going to share some of their blessings and how, no doubt, some of those came through raindrops as well as some through rainbows. And so I'm going to turn it over to Kelsey.
Good morning. Well, we made it. It's Senior Sunday. This time last year, it seemed like forever for all of us to be up here speaking, and now that it's finally here, I can't believe it. First off, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone. Just anyone who has ever crossed my path, that has given a smile to me, that I'm now fortunate enough to call my friend. This church is really the only church I ever remember going to. I really don't remember much from my last church, so it has really helped me grow into the person that I am, the beliefs that I have, and just my faith has blossomed so much from being in this church, and I think everyone who has ever made that possible. St. Paul will forever be my church no matter where I go, so thank you to everyone who has made it so memorable for me. I love each and every one of you. Love is a wonderful thing, isn't it? There's a passage in the Gospel of Luke that I'd like to share with you this morning that has really helped me get through my high school career. It comes from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 6, verses 27 through 36. But I say to you that listen, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who abuse you. If anyone strikes you on the cheek, offer the other also. And from anyone who takes away your coat, do not withhold even your shirt. Give to everyone who begs from you, and if anyone takes away your goods, do not ask for them again. Do to others as you would have them do to you. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners love those who love them. If you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners do the same. If you lend to those who lend from you and hope to receive, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to other sinners. But love your enemies, do good, and lend, expecting nothing in return. Your reward will be great, and you will be children of the Most High, for he is kind to the ungrateful and the wicked. Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful. I learned of this passage when we went on our first mission trip to Bailabache, Alabama. This passage brought to us by Luke has helped me quite a few times during my high school career and can predict that it'll help me further down the road. At the time of the first mission trip, I had recently ended a friendship that was very unhealthy. I had met this person when I started school at Summit Middle School. We ended up being really close friends, always hanging out, having sleepovers, going to the mall, doing whatever young teenager girls do. I thought nothing was going to change. But I was wrong. Once we went to the middle school, we started not getting along very well, and I had no idea what was going on. One day we could be best friends forever, and the next day we could be complete strangers. This would continue day to day, and I would always take the blame for it. When we got to 9th grade, however, I decided that I was going to end the friendship because it just wasn't working out anymore. While we were on the mission trip, we read the first verses of this passage, and I realized that I needed to be the bigger person in the situation. It's okay to have people that you don't get along with, you can't be friends with everyone, and for me that's really hard. I struggled with that a lot. So reading this passage really brought a new light into my perspective. It's impossible to be friends with everyone, but it is possible to be kind to everyone. Today, this person and I are both kind to each other. We don't hang out like we used to. We're not as close as we used to be, but we're still able to have a conversation with each other. I can say hands down that this passage has helped me through many situations, not just that one relationship, but many others in the past, and will continue doing so in the future to hire for more people that I meet down the road. Speaking of the future, for next year I plan to attend Iowa State University in the fall to major in veterinary medicine and minor in Spanish. Just once again, I want to thank you so much for everything that this church has done for me. I will come back, hopefully, because this is my home, and I can't be away from home very long. I will miss each and every one of you, and I'm so proud to call you my family. Thank you.
St. Paul has become a home for all of us graduating this year. There are so many memories that I want to share, but it'd take another lifetime to get through all of them. So instead, I want to share the general ideas of what St. Paul has meant for me. But first, I want to let you all know what I'll be doing next year. I'll be going to Indiana University to study business. I'll be double majoring in finance and legal studies and learning Spanish while completing the pre-law program. I'm extremely excited to get started, but I'm also disappointed that my opportunities for visiting St. Paul will be limited since it's an 8.5-hour drive. But before I get too focused on the future, well, I guess it's a little too late for that. But anyway, I need to recognize just how much St. Paul has impacted my past. In order to keep it short, I'm just going to give my top 5. First, St. Paul has taught me to give. From mission trips to volunteering to Stewardship Sunday, I've learned to give to others and to God in every aspect of my life. One of my favorite lessons from a mission trip was that anything we do can glorify God. Going into business, I feel like it's harder to make a direct impact on serving others than going into a field like medicine or teaching. The lesson on that mission trip taught me that as long as you do what you love as well as you can, it's a form of worship. This has helped me learn to give in smaller aspects of my life that I thought unimportant before. I've applied this message to all of my activities, and though I'm not saving the world, I feel like I'm accomplishing something by doing the things I love. Number 2, I've learned to relax. Coming in on Wednesday nights, I feel like I can leave my stress at the door. Logos has always been a place for me to forget about everything going on in my life and focus in on God and the people around me. Though I may not seem like a relaxed person in general, the youth group has helped me lighten up a bit. They're always there for me, and I know they always will be there for me, especially when they feel like teasing someone. Number 3, I have learned to let go. Some of you may not believe this, but St. Paul has helped me realize that certain things are beyond my power to control. That doesn't mean I stop planning things like I do. It just means that I can deal with the changes better. Most of my favorite sermons have been about giving up control to God, which has been one of my biggest spiritual struggles. I really like to have an answer, and I really like to know what's coming next. Through sermons and lessons with the youth group, I've come to realize that I can't change my aptitude for planning, but I can figure out when there is simply nothing I can do. Number 4, I have learned to share. I consider myself a pretty private person, but I've built such strong relationships here that I've been able to share who I am with this congregation. I've learned that letting others in on what's bothering me isn't burdening them. They want to help me, and I need their help. We all lean on each other, and that's an idea I want to carry with me wherever I go. Number 5, I have gained family. This is the most important thing that's come of my time at St. Paul. We truly are a family. There's an army of parents and grandparents in this congregation that has adopted all of us graduating. Mert and Jean even came to my elementary grandparents' day when my own grandparents couldn't come. The relationships I've built here have changed who I am in a way I never could have imagined. I know I can depend on all of you, and you've shown that to my family in countless ways in these past few months. All of your support, meals, phone calls, and prayers have warmed my family and to me. You can never know. I'm so blessed to have been a part of St. Paul my whole life. I'd like to thank you for all you've done for me. And be the same about all of you.
tough one to follow, especially since I'm so uncomfortable speaking in front of the congregation. Now, I've gone to this church since I was born. I've watched dozens of senior sermons, and I always wondered how people encapsulated their entire St. Paul experience into a 5-minute speech. And they're always heartwarming, they're always beautifully written, and they set the bar pretty high. So I wanted to start off with a passage that has got me through a lot. It comes from Luke chapter 5, verses 27 through 32. Jesus calls Levi. After this, he went out and saw a tax collector named Levi, sitting at the tax booth, and he said to him, "Follow me." And he got up, left everything, and followed him. Then Levi gave a great banquet for him in his house, and there was a large crowd of tax collectors and others sitting at the table with them. The Pharisees and their scribes were complaining to his disciples, saying, "Why do you eat and drink with tax collectors and sinners?" Jesus answered, "Those who are well have no need of a physician, but those who are sick. I have come to call not on the righteous, but sinners to repentance." Now, once I heard this excellent verse done by Vinny, Pastor Bill, I knew I had to do it because it's always been a verse that's meant a lot to me. As many of you know and have experienced, I can be a troublemaker. From when I was a little kid, it was kind of cute, like, "Oh, you," but as I got older, it got less cute, and I got in more trouble, and this, especially middle school, was very difficult for me. Developing epilepsy, getting on some very hard medications for it, and I was in and out of the principal's office every other week. But this verse got me through a lot of it. So, this verse also helped me get over how hypercritical I am of myself. I overthink things and rethink things and kind of beat myself up about things. And just the fact that Jesus came down for the sinners and for the people who mess up, for people like me who mess up every once in a while, it brought a whole new dimension to my faith. Now, time to talk about you guys. Everything I've done, from sports, music, scouts, mock trial, academics, it's all been affected by the congregation in this room. I've been a busy kid ever since I could walk. Mom and Dad have had me out and about quite a bit, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. I think it runs in the blood. But nothing I have done has had an impact like St. Paul. I don't know how active I'd be in school and sports and all that if I didn't go to this church. The love and the support I've gotten from this church has driven just about every action of my life. Whether it's a dozen compliments after I sing at church to give me the confidence to try out for the choirs that I absolutely love, or watching Eric Travelby's Eagle Scout ceremony in first grade and telling my parents, "I want to be up there. I want to do that. That's going to be me someday. Or seeing the big boys from church dressed up in all their football gear, looking all tough. I knew I want to play football. I want to look like that. That looks awesome. But real quick, back to my Eagle Scout project. I couldn't have done that without your support, whether it be monetary or physical. I cannot thank this congregation enough for helping me realize that dream. So, this church has had some of my biggest role models, obviously my biggest fans, and a few of my best and closest friends. So thank you. Sorry, I know it's really long. You're just going to have to listen to me. It's not now, whether it was a chipper hello on a random Sunday or a long, tearful hug after I lost my younger sister at 9, the pain of that kind of loss can turn even a third grader into a cynic. But with some wise words from my dad, countless casseroles and treats, and the sheer volume of love and constant support we received during that time, not only helped me keep my faith, but made it stronger. As I head off to my next adventure, down to New Mexico, and then off to UNI to study marketing and business, I know I'll always be able to return to my hometown church, where I'll always be greeted with 100 hugs and questions about how I'm doing and words of support from my amazing church family. Thank you.
Thank you, seniors. Thank you. I'm going to invite us all to stand